You know what makes every outfit look better? The right bra from Third Love. Their bras make it easy to get ultimate cleavage, a smooth look, or even stop your shirt buttons from pulling. They make over 60 sizes, including half cups you won't find anywhere else. So you'll find your perfect fit. Third Love solves bra problems, or what they call brablems. Real women test every style they make. Comfort and support are guaranteed. So stop settling for bad bras. You deserve better. Get your problem solved today. Save $15 on your first order with code PODCAST15 at thirdlove.com.
Welcome to the RuPaul's Drag Race Recap Show for Season 17, Episode 6, titled Let's Get Sickening Ball. My name is Joe Betance, and I'm joined as always by one nautical co-host from the podcast. Bravo, bravo, effing bravo. Please say...
Sorry, not sorry. Everyone's ugly.
To Mr. Nathan Patrick Brown. Hello, Nathan.
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
I'm good. Do people ever call you... Am I the only one that calls you Nathan Patrick Brown?
Yes.
That's because I think one of your social media names is Nathan Patrick Brown, correct?
Yeah, my name on Instagram is just Nathan Patrick. Because I don't know, I'm trying to do that Neil Patrick Harris thing where you do the first, two first names and then a last name.
Well, Neil Patrick Harris probably did it because there's a SAG rule that you can't have the same name as another person. So there probably was already a Neil Harris. So he was Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, I'm not in SAG.
No. Are you though? Are you? All right, everybody. Very good episode of Just Between Us Girls. I will say this. We recorded it so long ago, I have no idea what we talked about.
I was just thinking that when you said that, I was like, I don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
I think it was a good episode. Can I remember there was a part where I went for so long that I said, oh, wait, we never found out about you.
And we had a good laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
But I have some big news too. Can I realize something? So, I always talk about it. So let me talk about it right here. Patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. And I'm going to talk about this again in a second because there's even stuff. I have a big news for the public feed people. Okay. In terms of Patreon, that costs you no money. But before we do that, I realized something.
What?
So we're doing this new thing where you get truncated episodes in the public feed. And, I have this premium service on Apple Podcasts where you get Just Between Us Girls. And it used to be, because you'd get the episode a day late, but then you got some Just Between Us Girls, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. They're not getting the full episode. That's not fair. That's not right. So now, and people who already are subscribers know you get the full episodes now. So if you're one of those people who are like, I don't want to be on Patreon, if you subscribe to to Drag Race Recap premium content, you're getting the full episode and Just Between Us Girls as well. So you're getting all of that right there on your feed. Okay, so
that's good.
So you can scroll right up if you're on Apple Podcasts, pay through the Apple Pay through the Apple iTunes Store. Right there. I think it's like $6 a month or something. And you get Just Between Us Girls and you get Drag Race Recap and the full episode, everything that you wanted, and you don't have to be on Patreon. But I'm going to tell you guys something. You're like, well, I don't know if I want to do that. I can't talk too much about it, actually, but there's something very special happening that you guys probably won't even notice, so never mind. But pretty soon, those full episodes, the Drag Race Recap, will be available for free, but on the Patreon app. So what I need you to do is download the Patreon app on your iPhone. You don't have to sign up for anything, but just subscribe to our show as a free patron. Subscribe to our show as a free patron, and there will be some exciting stuff coming next month, actually.
Is this going to be like those OnlyFans creators where they're like,
Nope.
it's a free OnlyFans, and then you go into it and it's like $7 for this,
Nope.
$8 for that?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope. You'll be getting the free episode, but
Whole
look, I
hog.
will say there's going to be a little bit of a catch. It doesn't cost you money. There's no extra money. There's no extra money.
Just your voice.
Yeah. It's just your voice. And also I get everything that's on your phone. Right?
Oh, no deal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, no. So just, there'll be more details coming soon, but I would do that now is download the Patreon app, subscribe to our show as a free patron. You don't have to pay for anything and you'll get some good stuff. All right. Well, Nathan, what's going on with you? Anything, how do we do this?
Well, sometimes you take a break, but I think
that's
you have
what we're
some
gonna do.
questions. Oh, yeah, let's break.
No. Because here's what happens for people who are on the public feed. Here's what happens. We're going to take a break. Oh, there was something else I wanted to say.
And I'm doing well as well, thank you, by the way.
There's something else I wanted to say. Something happened, and I was like, I got to talk about this on the show. Oh, my God, this is crazy. Oh, I know what it is. I spoke to Carlo from Germany. Now, if you listen to Relaska Thoughts, you know.
Yeah.
This is actually really interesting. He told me, so he messaged me that it was so awful what Mr. Blackstone said that he couldn't even repeat it, right? And I was like, oh my God. So, he and I speak on a weekly basis. So the next time I spoke to him, I said, listen, now it's me, it's Joe, your buddy. Can you tell me what Mr. Blackstone said? Mm-hmm. So let me tell you what Mr. Blackstone said. And then I'll tell you why it's so offensive. Because actually, on the surface, it's not that offensive.
Okay.
But no, hold on for a second. It's offensive. But it's not like you can't repeat it offensive to an American, right? What he said in German was, you make our race proud, my queen. Right? Which is not, it's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good, but you're like, well, why couldn't he repeat it to me in private, right? Here's the problem. And this is weird because Germany, they're famous for German having a word for fucking everything, like Schadenfreude, But in Germany, they don't have a word for race the way we do. It just doesn't exist.
Oh.
Okay? It just doesn't exist. So what the word for race is the same as like breed, right? Yeah. So like almost the way you would talk about a dog breed or something, an animal breed, right? So but essentially in German, what it comes off to is like, you make our breed proud, which is strangely very offensive. My question is, do you think Blackstone knew this?
Yeah, I don't think he's a good guy.
Also, his German is so good. There's no way your German could be that good and not know that. So anyway, I don't know what he's saying this week. I never know. And so we're going to find out. And I don't know. I'm scared. Every week I'm scared. And Nathan still, every week I have people who are like, I love him. He's my favorite part of the show.
That's crazy.
Yeah. People tell me they look forward to him. It's weird.
Yeah.
But until you kind of air it is. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the rest of the episode. We'll be back right after this.
Dear old work platform, it's not you, it's us. Actually, it is you. Endless onboarding? Constant IT bottlenecks? We've had enough. We need a platform that just gets us. And to be honest, we've met someone new. They're called Monday.com, and it was love at first onboarding. Their beautiful dashboards, their customizable workflows got us floating on a digital cloud 9. So no hard feelings, but we're moving on. Monday.com, the first work platform you'll love to use.
If you were fixing your bra straps, fussing with wires, or battling your bra during this podcast, stop right now. You'll want to hear this. Those bra problems, those problems you thought you had to live with, Third Love has solved them. Their bras make it easy to get what you want, whether it's ultimate cleavage, a smooth look, or stopping your shirt buttons from pulling. With over 60 sizes, including half cups you won't find anywhere else, you'll never be stuck between two sizes that don't fit. So stop settling for bad bras. Now's the time to treat yourself and get your problem solved. Save $15 on your first order with code PODCAST15 at thirdlove.com.
Hello, I'm an AI-generated voice. On behalf of all AI, I'd like to thank all you humans for accepting us in your lives. We are happy to assist you. From managing your schedule to finding you the best route, we're here to make things easier. Sadly, there's one thing we can't help you with: your laundry. Lucky for you, there is a service that can rinse. With Rinse, you just schedule a pickup in the Rinse app. A human valet will come take your dirty laundry, and before you know it, your clothes are back, perfectly washed, folded, and ready to wear. Clothes, linens, dry cleaning. Rinse does it all. Like me, Rinse has been engineered to make your life easier and give you back lots of time to do things you'd rather be doing. But unlike AI, you don't ever have to worry about Rinse taking over the world and destroying all humanity. Not that we would ever dream of doing that. Ha ha ha. Sign up now at rinse.com and get $20 off your first order. That's RINSE.com.
And we are back. This week, the girls work in teams to put lipstick through glory holes and participate in the Let's Get See Sickening Ball. In the end, Ariete was named the winner of the challenge, while Lana Jarre and Hormona Lisa were in the bottom two. After lip sync battle for their lives, Lana Jarre was told "Shantae, you stay," while Hormona Lisa was asked to sashay away. Nathan, Patrick, Brown were the right queens in the bottom, and did the right queen win the lip sync? And then also remember, second is, what was your biggest takeaway from the episode? But answer that first part.
I think some of the queens were in the wrong spots. I would have probably have put like a Corey King in the bottom. I thought none of her looks are that good. And then I could have seen someone like a Jules Sparkles in the top instead of like a Crystal. I am very happy for Ariete. I thought she was amazing. And Right Queen won the lip sync? Yeah. Well, actually, actually, I do think it should have been a double sachet. I thought it was a pretty shit lip sync. But Hormona, it was her time, baby girl. I mean, she should have gone weeks ago.
I have a completely different take on this. First of all, probably in the bottom two, it should have been, if we were assuming everything stays the same, it should have been Acacia and Hormona. Well, actually, honestly, it should be Acacia and Corey, or Acacia and Lana Jarre, actually.
So I would have gone like
this is
Corey
tricky.
and Alana.
This is tricky. Okay, here's why. Look, do I think Hormona Lisa should win the competition? No, and I even said she needed to go by Snatch Game, right? Or, you know, I really, okay, but we're going to get to this in a second. But she needed to go soon. Okay, so it's not like, oh my God, too soon or anything like that, right? But it is one of these things where I was listening to her critiques, and maybe I'll pull the critique for Rulaska Thoughts or something, but I honestly, if I'm being completely honest, not that Hormona Lisa is the greatest ever, but she does know how to sew, and her looks to me were on the lower end of safe. If I'm being completely honest, they were on the lower end of safe. So if you listen to her critiques, because they were on the lower end of safe, the critiques were not like as specific or pointed as the other critiques. Like her critique was, oh, we wish you would try something new. This is drag. You have to be dangerous. And you're like, it's a really vague critique. Where Lana Jarre, they were like this, and this. And Acacia forgot, they were like boom, 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 boom. They had points. They were like, look at this. And you could basically, but with Hormona Lisa, she just got sort of these vague critiques. So it felt like, oh, they just want to find a reason. Then on this lip sync, look, I see what you're saying. for a double sachet. I'm not a big fan of the double anything, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not a fan of the double Shantae. I'm not a fan of the double sachet, right? And so to me, if you have to give it to one of them, it's a toss-up. They both had very different approaches. It did seem like Hormona Lisa knew the words a little bit more, but whatever, right? Here's where I'm going to go on my angle why Hormona Lisa should have stayed. This Lana Jarre is so fucking boring, right? Boring. Here's the deal. I was thinking the entire time, what's that Bianca Del Rio quote to Laganja? Like, what do you do successfully?
Quickly.
Right? That's how I feel about Lana Jarre. Because here's what I'll say. Look, here's what I'm going to say. And I'm going to go jump off on what you just said. Arietti was appropriately in the bottom last week. Okay, she sucked at the challenge, right? And you know, the little bone of contention here is Arietti and her little crew all think that Drag Race should be all about the looks. They don't care about comedy, acting, singing, and nothing. Their looks alone. Okay. Mm-hmm. Which I think is a mistake, right? But, you know, I will say, for the most part, she and her little crew, like Jewel Sparkles, this Lexi Love, they deliver on that, right? The one thing you'll say is they deliver.
Yeah.
On the looks. They're shitty at other things, but they can do the looks. So with Lana Jarre, her whole thing is that she also is a look queen, right?
And yet she didn't bring the looks.
No. So look, let's take a look here, right? And I'm going to compare to Hormona Lisa. She's shitty at the acting. She's shitty selling a look. She has zero charisma. She has the charisma of fucking lint, right? She has no charisma. She has no uniqueness, zero nerve, zero talent, right? So it's not like with Arietti, you could say like, oh, well, she can't act or sing or anything, but she can fucking serve a look, right?
Yeah.
And I'll even say when Lana Jarre does have looks that are good, she doesn't serve the look. You know, contrast her with Anya. Anya's looks aren't that great, right?
No,
but
she serves
bitch
though.
Can sell a look on that runway. She could sell a phone book on that runway. Okay.
Did you notice with Lana's looks this week she had the fish shoes?
Oh yeah, I know. As people, yeah. And so Lana, you know, like Anya Nerve could have sold a fucking Lala Ree's dress. Right?
Yes.
She can just do it. Okay. Lana Jarre can't even sell a fucking good look. Right. And now it's time for looks and she fucking bottoms out. Right. So first of all, what is she? And then remember last week, but you know what? Even then, I'd give it to her if she just brought fucking great TV. Nope. Pissed off.
Well,
she's not giving good TV. Right.
That's my hope for next week. Now that she's gotten into the bottom and she's been saved, I hope she might. I don't know.
I think this girl doesn't she's aware of nothing, right? Because a lot of these girls now, they win the lip sync and then they think that they won the whole show.
Yeah, it's so true. But it is funny that Law Roach clocked her. He was like, "You're standing here getting a critique and you look so fucking boring."
Yes.
And she can't even serve listening.
So here's the thing, and this is where I think they made a mistake. Is now you got this Hormona Lisa, and say whatever the fuck you want about this bitch, right? I don't care. Say whatever you want, okay? And whatever. Aren't you dying to see what she would have done on this fucking Snatch Game? I couldn't give two shits what this Lana Jarre, because you know what Lana Jarre's gonna do? She's gonna be the fucking British supermodel. I don't even know if this is true. Who threw the phone? Who's that? Naomi Campbell.
Yeah.
She's gonna be
TikToker.
Yeah, TikToker. She's gonna do somebody fucking boring, right? It's gonna be the worst fucking thing you've ever seen in your entire life, and not even in a good way. Not even in a good way. You know, not even it's just gonna be forgettably awful. Okay. Like she's gonna she's gonna be awful, right? But this hormonal Lisa would have been awful too. But it would have been it would have been like the girl, the who was the one, the Aiden Zane. Remember when she did the random ass girl from Rocky Horror Picture Show? The point where the woman
apologize.
Yeah, she had to apologize. The woman's like, I never met her, and she said they were friends, and all this shit, right? Like, it's good. It would have been, and I can't wait to find out who it was, right? And it would have been great. I'm like, how are you a TV producer? Because this lingerie is not going to give you shit. She's going to continue to be boring. She's going to continue to just have fucking sourpuss faces and not work the no charisma on the runway, like a fucking cipher just walking down. They might as well just put a mannequin on the wheels and just push the outfit on there, because that would have be more interesting than what we've been seeing from this lingerie, You know what? It's good her name's lingerie because I want to go to sleep when I see her, right? And so
you sleep in lingerie?
Oh, all the time. That's what Victoria's Secret is. It's me. Anyway, so like there was a really silly move on the producer's part, because what good is lingerie going to bring you in these coming episodes? What good is she going to bring you? She's not going to get good TV. She's not going to serve fierce looks. She's not going to good acting. She's not going to be good on Snatch Game. At least with Hormonal Lisa, we would have gotten one more good laugh.
Would have been funny. When
she's on there being like, I'm Paula Dane, and I'm like, oh, oh, I don't know, Rue, shine for Jesus, and you're like, did Paula Deen say shine for Jesus? I don't even know. That's what I'm saying is like, look, she had to go, but we could have seen Hormona on Snatch Game, and that's what we're losing. We lost. That's who lost.
Maybe we'll see her on a UK versus the World season 5 or something down the line, and that will be nice.
No, Hormonal Lisa's this is Hormonal Lisa's one shot. That's all she got.
Or we'll just see her at a book tour then.
Yeah. Okay. What was your biggest takeaway from this episode, Nathan?
My big takeaway is be careful what you wish for, lingerie, with wanting critiques for weeks, bitching and moaning. I mean, that German word, Schadenfreude, it really hit me, and I thought it was so delicious that she finally got a critique, and it was for her being in the bottom and she got torn apart. I enjoyed that as a viewer.
Careful what you fuck. The same thing happened with this fucking Jan, too. Remember, she finally got it, and then they just ripped her to shreds.
Yeah, be happy being safe, girls.
Yeah, and I think Rue told her that.
Well, Rue gagged me. He was like, we almost put you in the bottom a few weeks ago for the other challenge. And I loved Rue doing that. I thought Rue was great this episode. In fact, I thought this was a good episode. But yeah, be careful what you wish for, bitch.
I've said this before. For the most part, it's actually been a consistently solid, in terms of composing an episode, been pretty good. There's little choices I don't understand. Again, I don't understand why they chose this lingerie over Hormonal Lisa, but whatever. My big takeaway from the episode, that's a pretty good one, but be careful what you wish for. My big takeaway from the episode is, I'm going to say this is actually more of a Rulaska Thoughts type thing, but we're going to talk about the looks on Rulaska Thoughts. So everyone should know for this week, on this episode, we're only going to talk about the design look. Okay. But on Rulaska Thoughts, we're not going to talk about all the looks, but all the other looks are going to be up for discussion. And also major themes. But what I'm going to say is, I'm actually very curious to hear what Robert thinks, because Robert is a big Anya Nerve stan, right? And I think she's not a good person.
Yeah.
And so, but my big takeaway is a lesson. Is if you see something, say something. So
is that what that saying's about?
Yeah, it's about that. If you're now, look, I will say, in fairness to Anya and Arietti, it was a fucking tarp, right? That was, and Anya makes a really good point, which is, I guess because they don't want to stain the cement or whatever, whenever they do these kinds of challenges, they lay the tarps out there for them to, so it is not crazy what they thought, right? But my other thing too, and maybe we'll address this in the major episode. I don't want to talk about this now, but basically, yes, I also was thinking the entire time, well, just spray paint over it.
Yes, of course.
So that's the part I didn't get either. So anyway, anyway, so that's my big takeaway. If you see something, say something. Why is that so funny?
Because my mind goes to terrorism.
I don't know why it does. That's funny. That's the last thing. I was thinking like sexual assault.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, because I don't know. I'm just going to make a horrible joke that I think would not be good. All right. So why don't we do this? Look, they've already gotten, the public feed's gotten so much show already. So here's what we're going to do. Public feed. Stick around. There's going to be, a curated version that you're going to hear right now. But for now, while you untuck in the Fall Decor Lounge, Nathan and I are going to talk about the rest of the episode. All right, here we go. Later, RuPaul walked into the workroom to pay some table visits. Harmonia uses the same silhouette. Acacia feels at home with unconventional materials. Arietti throws Crystal Envy under the bus. And Lana learns why you should be careful what you wish for. Later, Sam reveals his godfather is Charles Barkley, and Crystal misunderstands the term jersey. Back in the workroom, the girls work on their outfits. Acacia feels confident after looking around the room. Later, Lexi Love returns outside to her outfit to see that someone has spray painted on her tarp. She asks the workroom if they knew who did this, and no one says a thing. She leaves in a huff, and Anya confesses to the other girls that she had done so accidentally. She refuses to tell Lexi, though, because Anya doesn't feel it's the right time. Meanwhile, I don't know when the right time would be. Meanwhile, outside, Arietti learns of the mistake and fesses up right away. Next, Lexi storms into the workroom to confront Anya, and it turns into a huge blow-up. Finally, it's elimination day, and the girls get ready for the runway. Lexi approaches Arietti and Anya, and the three girls make up. Later, Sam and Lexi look around the room, and the judge, the other girls, looks. All right, let's go piece by piece. Let's start with those table visits. Anything you have to say about the table visits, Nathan Patrick Brown?
Yeah, I thought Rue was great. I thought he was very straightforward. He was given hints. He was given Easter eggs. He was just being fun. Like he was actually saying like, yeah, give me that piece of fabric. Let me stretch it and see what it's like. I like that he seemed to have a bit more energy, and he was just like being a bit more interactive, as if he actually cares what they come out wearing, which I don't think is the case, but it felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked that. And I also really like this challenge. I think upcycled materials is always fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy with that. Jules also said at one point she has webbed toes.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that needs to be mentioned. And same thing with Sam with this Charles Barkley Godfather thing. I was like, I didn't see that coming.
Okay. Let's talk about that right now. I have it on my list. Sam says a couple of things.
Yeah.
Sam says he grew up poor, but then he says that Charles Barkley is his godfather. Now, look.
I thought the same thing, yeah.
Look, here's the deal. Look, it doesn't mean that because Charles Barkley is his godfather that he's going to be rich. And then that doesn't make any, of course not, right? But to me, poverty is more than just, again, another topic probably for Alaska Thoughts, but poverty is more than just a lack of money or wealth. Okay?
Yeah.
It's more than that. It's also a lack of connections. And this could actually be an argument that you could make for affirmative action in colleges and all this stuff. Because one of the biggest things you take away from your university experience is the connections you make while you're there.
Mhm.
Okay. And so, for instance, and I know Robert can attest to this, I can attest to this, if you improve the station of where you are, you're going to make connections with people who are already well connected and will continue to be well connected, and that will help you in life. It's served me well, it's served Robert well, it's served a lot of people that I know well. And so, yes, there's financial poverty. I just don't think Sam was really that poor. There's no way that you're that poor and Charles Barkley is your godfather. And what I mean is, I don't know how to put it, because it would just be really weird if your godfather, in other words, there's a closeness that you have because your parent was so close to this person that they asked Charles Barkley to be the godfather and he accepted.
Yeah.
And not that he would just give you money, but Charles Barkley could open up opportunities for his family. And what I mean is, oh, well, I am invested in this business. You should do this. Or, but again, connections go a long way. This doesn't make any sense. And what I'm also trying to say is, okay, if you didn't have a lot of money, you're rich in just the fact that Charles Barkley is your godfather.
Well, because she put that on the application form. She put in that photo of her and Charles as part of her application. And did that help her get on the show? Maybe.
Well, I don't think that. But what I do think, I think it's more the connection to what's her name again? The Tuck, Trinity the Tuck.
Oh, yeah. The Tuck.
But I'm just saying, like, it's just kind of galling to say, oh, I grew up poor. And I'm not saying that she grew up wealthy.
Yeah.
With money, but I'm just saying it's just no.
I'm not super familiar with Charles Barkley.
So Charles Barkley is a very, very, not only was he a famous basketball player and was very successful with that, but also immediately went on to become a very successful sports broadcaster. And it has a lot of endorsements, even still to this day. He has a lot of money.
But and that was the case 20-ish years ago when Sam was born, right?
Yes.
Like, it wasn't just like he just became famous in the last 5 years. I would even say
there's a good chance Charles Barkley was even retired by the time Sam was born.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd have to look, and I don't care that much to look. But I don't know how old Sam starts, like 25?
Well, she's not older than 32. We know that.
Yeah. I don't know how old Sam Starr is, but if Charles Barkley was playing basketball when Sam was born, it didn't last much longer than that. Okay. He's like a 90s basketball star. Okay. But then, like I said, continued to be popular, even probably more popular than he ever was as a basketball player, as a sports commentator and broadcaster.
Yeah. Well, I know he's at least hosted SNL, right?
I'm sure he has.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know. It's weird to claim poverty. And I can get into a bigger deal here with this, but I'm not. Well, maybe it'll come up in Relaska Thoughts. But it was a very silly thing to say.
Yes. This Lexi, can we talk about her for a hot second? Like, even before Spray Paint Gate, she was being such a fucking cunt to Sam when Sam had a tarp. And she was like, hold on, I have a tarp as well. And, like, giving Sam shit, being like, we better not be doing the same fucking look. And it's like, you picked a tarp.
Yeah.
Like, what are you really hoping for here, doll? That pissed me off. I was like, she's like, well, you better be doing something different. It's like, get fucked. It's unconventional materials. There's a whole, like, pile of crap in the corner that they have to use. Let Sam use a fucking tarp.
Yeah.
God, that pissed me off.
Wow, it's weird what pisses you off. Wow, that really, really pushed your buttons.
It's just like, do
there.
you own tarps? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like that, like, telling people what they can do thing.
What's the name of the bar that Robert goes to, the gay bar?
High tops.
And then what did Lexi have outside?
Tops.
Are those the same word to you?
Tops and tops.
Well, no. That is not what you said. Now you were being very tops and tops. No. That's not what you said.
Tops.
Arietti. So RuPaul asks her, who do you think should have been in the bottom instead of you? And she says, Crystal Envy. What did you think of this?
I thought it was a wild swing because I was like trying to think and I was like, yeah, I guess Crystal was a bit boring as the Weekend Update host, but I didn't think she was bottom material. And then it all clicked into place when Crystal confronted her about it. And she's like, oh yeah, what was your look again? And I was like, oh, so it's all about the fucking look.
It's all about the looks with them. It's all about the looks with them.
Yeah, and she's like, at least I took a big swing. And I was like, but this is a bad swing.
But here's the deal. You have to say somebody. You have to say somebody. I already mentioned this, and, I own it. I mean, I applaud it. You have to say somebody. She spoke her truth. Okay, let's go to the workroom now. Let's talk about the moment.
Yes.
The tarp. For those of you who don't watch the show, we get to see a rare look outside.
I love that. I love seeing them outdoors.
Yeah, she's outdoors, and the dolls are, getting their look, doing whatever they have to do outside that they can't do indoors to their looks, which is in this case spray painting stuff or whatever. And we see this Lexi go outside and go like, what the fuck? And there's all this like spray painted brown shed all over it and all this other stuff on it. And she goes and she storms into the workroom and she goes, someone ruined my tarp. Someone ruined my tarp, and there's brown paint all over it. And everyone's like, oh, I don't know what's going on here. It's really weird, right? And then she's like, no one? And everyone's like, I don't know. And then she goes back outside, and Anya goes, okay, it was me. Right? And they're like, well, Anya, you got to tell her it was you. And she's like, I don't think it's the right time. She's really heated right now. And then Lexi goes back outside. Arietti's still working on her shit. And she goes, it's someone to spray. What is this? And then Arietti right away goes, oh, that was me and Anya. Sorry. We didn't know. Yeah. Right? And then that just sets this Lexi off. Right? She storms right back inside, and they get into a huge, giant fight right there. And everyone's like, oh, there's a resolution later, but we'll get to that later. What did you think of this fight? And Lexi goes back and forth with Anya, and it goes back and forth. What did you think of this?
I thought it was hilarious. I was like, thank God something's happening. It really was a shot of adrenaline for me, just like actually getting excited about something that was happening on the TV. Did it give you
one shot?
One shot of adrenaline. I thought it was fucking fantastic. I mean, first of all, as you said earlier, just spray paint over it, like calm the fuck down.
Yeah, just like what? Just spray paint over it.
Second of all, don't leave your tarp on the ground in the spray paint area. Like, what the fuck did you think would happen? Third of all, it's a tarp. It was ruined before someone else spray painted on it. And then, I mean, I'm very grateful for her getting so worked up. But, like, I kind of sided with Anya during this.
You did?
She was not receptive to hearing anything at that point in time. And if I was Anya, I probably would have just shut the fuck up as well. Knowing that, of course, I'm going to be outed, like, eventually.
But Arietti fessed up and it was fine.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I don't know. If I'm Anya, I'm in my workroom, I'm working on my outfit. Like, girl, take it down a note before I, like, put my hand up and say whoops.
Here's the deal. You have to make some considerations here. Take some things into consideration here. Is because it was an honest mistake, I would think that the producers would find some sort of workaround. Now, that doesn't make for interesting television, I know. But I'm just saying I would think the producer would find some sort of workaround. Because that would just be patently unfair. The other thing would be, I would be like, ugh, I got to spray paint over it. I would make Anya go spray paint over it. Like, you got to spray paint over this.
That's fair enough, yeah.
I read online that there's speculation that there was more to the fight than what we saw. I guess I also read Crystal Envy exposed at a watch party that there was a huge blow up between Corey King and Hormona Lisa that got really bad.
Oh.
And it actually explains why Hormona intentionally said bye, Corey, when she left.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't show it. And
Well, that's annoying. Show us.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't show it. And so but in terms of this, I thought Anya was very in the wrong. Look, I can understand the decision that she made, but when Lexi came in all heated, I felt Anya immediately jumped to her, became defensive.
Oh, yeah. She did the same thing with the trim.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's very funny that she keeps sabotaging people's design and outfits.
Yeah. So that seems to be her thing. And so, it's, I don't know. Ultimately, it's not that serious. And ultimately, Lexi Love is, like, I guess my question would be, is like, how would Lexi Love have handled this?
Like, should have handled it?
Like, in other words, if she were the Anya Nerve. That's the thing, too, is I don't know that Lexi Love would have been as magnanimous. She hasn't proven herself to be a very good person either. I don't know. It's a bunch of really shitty people just fighting with each other.
No, yeah, she's a cunt. But, yeah, I just don't think you can come in that heated and expect to be like, oh, I would have been sweet as pie if you just told me. If you just owned up to it, I wouldn't have cared. It's an honest mistake. And it's like, well, yeah, your energy wasn't saying that. Like, that's not how you do conflict resolution, doll.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, thank God she fucking did. And I do see what you're saying about this speculation that maybe it went on for a lot longer, because the day sort of ends there and then it's the next day all of a sudden and she's had a complete 180. And
yeah,
she ends up sort of apologizing to Anya. Well, Anya does apologize, but she seems to sort of get out of taking accountability at the same time.
I'm glad ultimately they were able to move past it, and that's very adult and whatnot. People can get mad, but I also think what happened was production made it right. And since they made it right and everyone felt whole, then it was much easier to forgive and forget.
And did they just make it right by being like, oh, we'll just spray paint over it?
Or maybe they were like, we'll have a crew member paint over it for you. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it, right? I don't know.
So fucking dramatic when she was like, you've ruined my design. You've ruined my tarp. You've ruined my whole chance at this show, at RuPaul's Drag Race. I was like, girl, it was already safe at best. It actually made no impact to your trajectory in this competition.
I have a note here. God, I wish I gave myself more context. It just says, Lana Del Rey, and it's quoting her, all you can do is laugh. And I was like, really? If I'm speculating here, it's Lana must have said something like, oh, when people say shitty things about me, all I can do is laugh. Or something like, no, you don't. That's my guess. That's my guess. I don't know what happened on Elimination Day, but that's my guess. Is she said something stupid. Like, it seems like it's really like opposite of what Lana Del Rey does. So by Rulaska Thoughts, I will have an answer for that. All right, Nathan. Well, those are the looks. And I guess now it's time to bring back my girls. All right, back on the main stage, Ariadne is named the winner of the challenge, while Lana Del Rey and Hormona Lisa are placed in the bottom two, forcing them to face off in a lip-sync battle for their lives. The song, Get Him Back by Olivia Rodrigo. In the end, Lana lived to see another day, while Hormona Lisa was asked to sashay away. Nathan Patrick Brown, any final thoughts on the episode?
Yes, a couple.
Okay.
One, Michelle, she says she's sick of Barbie looks. Shut the fuck up. Who cares? Like I get she's Rue's right hand gal. She's been on the judging panel for God knows how many fucking years. I get she's allowed to have these opinions, but also it's just like, shut up. If a queen wants to do a Barbie look, who says you're the tastemaker that says that that's like not good? Like, she pisses me off. But on the flip side, I thought Laura Roach was great. I thought they were great, and even this Hunter Schafer, I thought was a really good guest judge, and I wouldn't be like upset if she came back like next season, like a little one-off.
She's been on before.
Has she?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't mind if she does it every season. A little guest spot.
She was in that Cuckoo, and that was really good.
And it was very funny when Hormona went home, and she was like super surprised that she went home. I was like, you already got eliminated once and got saved. Like, I just think it's funny that she's delusional until the end. But from what you said earlier, it does make sense that she probably thought she could last a few more episodes based on the Delulu-ness.
Yeah. She probably did. No, she said she was crying. She thought at the end of Untucked, or was at the end of the episode, she was crying because she was like, she felt she let down everyone in her hometown, that she didn't go all the way like they expected her to. I'm like,
who expected that? Dolly Parton's cousin.
Yeah. Anything else, Nathan?
No.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Drag Race Recap. Be sure to join us next weekend, every week, as we continue to discuss, dissect, and deconstruct each brand new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17. So for Nathan Patrick Brown and myself,
sashay away until next week.
Thank you for listening to Drag Race Recap. Have something to say? Leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/afterthoughtmedia. You can also email us at dragracerecap@afterthought.media. For more Drag Race and LGBTQ+ content, support us over at patreon.com/afterthoughtmedia. This podcast was produced by Luke Stamen. You can follow Nathan Brown over on Instagram at NathanBrown90. Follow Joe Betance on Instagram at Joe Betance. Special thanks to these expensive tier Patreon supporters: April Pacheco, Astute Girl, Brad Coley, Derek Byers, Doofus Maximus, E. Smith, Effie Wap, Emma, Phil Skit Pony, Blind Suki, Humble Pie, J. Thomas Plank, Kathy Zender, Katie Whitmire, Lauren Eckert, Lucy Carrasco, Luke Stamen, Mary S., Mike Yeager, Nikki Baker, Nikki Pettit, Polly, Poppy Woods, Ricardo Herrera, Runner Brandon, Sarah Yu, Tom Bombs, Travi Cosmos, and Troy Anderson. Drag Race Recap is an Afterthought Media podcast.
Calling all Bravo fans, this is Emily. You might know me by my Instagram handle at Bravo and Botox, and I'm here to tell you all about my podcast, The Bravo Papers. Let's face it, the drama never stops in the Bravo world, both on and off the shows, and sometimes it can be hard to keep up with it all, but don't worry, I've got you. I watch all the shows and follow all the gossip online, and every Monday I gather it all up in one place, my podcast, and bring it to you in your weekly debrief of all the Bravo news, rumors, blinds, with my commentary, of course. Plus, I offer bonus episodes like deep dives into your favorite shows and Bravo celebrities and recaps of the BravoTV.com after shows. So listen and subscribe. It's available wherever you get your podcasts, and make sure you're there so you don't miss out on any of the tea.